hello. I'm gonna put up this volume. Oh, it's at already 100. I don't know if you can hear the heater, so I'm going to shut that off. And I'm gonna get my cards and my stuff ready. I have a headache. Um, Not quite as bad as last night with the energies, but I have a headache. So I'm going to, let's see, got a little bit of water. I'm going to step away for a moment. I want to get what I need over here. Put this over here. Take some stuff away. Okay. All right. I wanted to also bring a crystal on, but I've actually forgotten the properties of my apophyllite and also my phone is charging, but I might try it in here because it's really, really low. So okay, I'm also going to stop. I'm going to look at my clothes that I've downsized from. Yeah. Would be nice if I had a screen or some kind of backdrop would be good, but it's my bed buddies, that each one of them in their own way came to me. Several of them spoke to me, is how I picked them. The white teddy bear spoke to me. Oh, hi, Deborah. I'm going to have to leave for a minute to get a cold drink in a moment, but I was going to say the white bear spoke to me. The big lion guy spoke to me. When I was younger, I had a psychologist, and she got me the bear. I named Jeffrey Patrick's. The white bear is Maurice. Then I have lion. And then I have a little lion named Einstein. And then I just have pony. The Pony Express from, I got him opened a bank account in the Southwest at the time. And so 2 for sure out of all of them I heard speak to me. But they all came to me like, actually Michael spoke to me, Michael the lion, and the white bear did. Einstein, it might have been my sister's too. So my sister didn't like stuffed animals, and I did. So a couple of them were hers, and didn't want them, so I took them. I think I asked her on one or both, and she said yeah, she didn't want them. But I sleep with them. I think all single people should hold on to something. Of course, some people admit they hold on to pillows. And of course, they may have someone they live with, so they hold on to them a little bit. But I think it's very nurturing when we hold on to a bed buddy, or if you feel security, we feel comforting. And I'm here to tell you that entities do live in inanimate objects. That's why you can go into a toy store and see a lot of different toys and get a feeling from, because they were made with certain, like Pinocchio, Geppetto is not a freaking joke. It's really real. They have entities that can get downloaded into them. Either they find a home and get downloaded, or the maker inadvertently put something in there. But I couldn't go to a toy store that used to be very, it was there for years. I don't think it's there anymore, on State Street in Newburyport. Couldn't go in there. I mean, there were some absolutely lovely toys for sure. The stuffed animals usually were appealing to me. They still are. In grocery stores. Oh, just go over them and touch them. And sometimes they have the oversized stuffed animals, as big as us, big as people. But especially at the back of one room, at the back of the main room, there were dolls that are made, beautiful. Well, they look very ornate, what people would call beautiful Victorian dolls. And several of them felt so demonic, so evil, so bad. And then there's some toys, stuffed animal toys that are made, like the Chuck E. Cheese and Cabbage Patch popularity dolls. I mean, some feel so bad. I mean, I don't know how an adult could love their Joey, Johnny, Sarah, and give them these dolls that are totally, in a word, their faces even speak. Sometimes they're set or they look evil, mischievous, not ugly like some are obviously thriller, psycho, nutty looking. Whatever, look that up and see what that means to you. But some, there's just a continence to them that resonates, inherit trouble. Clowns, for example, clowns. Uh, I had a clown I had to get rid of. Clown dogs. My father gave it to me. It was at first a little troubling because your dad gives you a present, it means well, but it's totally had demonic spirit in it. That was a long time ago. My psychologist at the time who gave me the teddy bear, she was like, when you're in distress, you start imagining and you have these really intense episodes. And I was like, no. So like I knew on that level her mind didn't work on the esoteric. It just wasn't like that. Hers was very logical and practical, very loving, very nurturing. I don't even know how to find her today, even if she's still around. She would definitely be in her 90s if she still is living, because she's much older than me. She was at least 25 years older than me. Very grounded person. So 60, so she's 80, 92. Wish you could find her. Yeah, because she was a woman that, like you think of a Woman of the Year award. Verna Verichter. And I think I want to say she had relatives in Minnesota, farming relatives in Minnesota, pretty sure. Could have been Iowa, was a state that you don't really hear of as much, like Arizona or California or Florida or New York, like Maine, more sort of popular names that seem to come up a lot, or Texas. Like it was just sometimes you don't hear about. So Michigan, not so much. Nebraska, not so much. Trying to think, like maybe Washington State, not so much. So things like that. So it was a state that was not near Florida. So anyway, yeah, and her husband's family had a big farm, wherever that was. Anyway, and her kids are probably so well set. They were just so encouraged to do their passion, but also have a backup in terms of the human regular world. They wanted their kids to be educated, but follow their dreams, and they always feel like they could still enter a workforce and be of value and nurture their stuff. So if they didn't seem to take off with their true passion, that at least they were always, well, for them, they just were not, in struggle, that they had ways that they, at least what most parents want is to be able to support yourself, which of course we know now is not necessarily true, depending on the climate and the times in which you subscribe to. Anyway, I'm going to disappear for a moment, probably about 2 minutes. I'm going to get a cold drink, make a restroom dash, didn't think I needed it, and then we're going to go on into tonight's theme. 1 second. So this did start to charge. I know it's on 9, but I'm going to put it in the, I can put it in. Sorry about that loudness. I'm going to put it in. I'm putting it in, and if it goes up, then I know it's working and staying charged on this laptop. Sometimes that doesn't happen. Otherwise, I have to put it back into a wall. So, like I said, there were things I wanted to share with you or look up, and I'll have this. So keep in mind, I asked the cards about the energies and tonight's theme. I just want to go back and revisit this so you have it to ponder. So what I started to write about tonight was, being that we have a full moon, a pink full moon, I'll go into that when I come back. Energies of rebirth, reclaim your power, peace, hold fast to optimism. And I'll revisit this, but so since this full moon of April 16th is about balance and harmony in relationships and partnerships, why not add yourself? This is peace and optimism of new energies that are bombarding us like intensely. Just remember to go easy on yourself. You may be feeling a variety of physical and emotional swings, or even observing while you are in the midst, navigating without absorbing as much or very little of the guff that's all about us. Plug into what you desire best you can. Optimism in creating inner harmonious space, a plus to launch off of. Sometimes I think these reoccurring themes, they sound very similar to what I've been talking about. But at this time, I also think it's just very supportive. And I know when I was listening to someone earlier, she was getting like a lot of, clearing and harmony and, clearing out. And I've been feeling, since I've had such intense headaches last night with the intense rain, winds that we've had in the East Coast, and feeling like stuff is happening in the skies, whether it's military action and or spacecraft action, like something's happening. Also, if you know what the Schumann resonance is now, I might look that up too while we're doing this. But so the title were the energies of rebirth, reclaim your power and peace, and hold fast to optimism. And I was thinking about, this energy time of what this full moon means of harmony, balance in relationships and us. And so what were the theme that I posted was, it says what world, which I think was the first card that came. The second card that came was Eight of Water. There was a third I looked at, but these were the two dominant ones, so we'll stick with those for now. The other one was one that has come up before, which is Messenger of Fire. I'll see if that fits in later in the length of time, but I'm still going to pick some oracle cards, and I'm going to pick a last tarot card as well, and we'll do numbers. But I would like to see what the author said about this, because of course the world, many world situations, and especially the dominant one of, Ukraine, Russia, also what's happening in the United States on mainstream media, and then the possible what might be a reveal in an Asian country, if that's unfolding as well. And so many people are like, we keep saying, and now, and ready, and now. And there's the Eight of Water. So money, abundance, overflowing, ebb and flow, the ship coming in. Right, there's a ship there coming in. The ship is pointed. Whoops. The ship is pointed in the direction full sail, ready to come in. Let's see if we can get this a little bit better. Oh gosh. Can't really see it that good. So if you can see it at that angle, the ship is a full sail and it's coming in, and you're waiting on the shore. There's another lovely thing about it. Is it a face there? So it's like you can't see the face of the master. And I'm going to take it. It's hard for me to tell in this light if my own card, this card has, it looks like they're looking out because they're hooded. In the back looks to have a kind of crest as part of the shroud. And when I hold it in a light to, is it this that's coming through? Let's see. I don't think so. It's really interesting. So if you have tarot decks, hold them up to different lights, because on this particular cloak, there's other like swirly images, like Celtic images, and also it looks like there's a cross and or an ankh as part of the crest, or or even jeweled piece hanging off of this. Very interesting, isn't it? Like once we start getting cards, oracle cards, tarot card, it's like we could know them, but it's like watching a story again and watching a story again and watching a story again. The cards keep coming forward with different symbology and images that catch your eye. So the story is vivid and deep and can encompass like so many these layers of information, to touch your heart, to help you in growth. So I love the cards. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much on my verge of, ordering, gauge wire for wrapping pendants, going to a possible location to pick out unusual crystals or what looks like unusual for me to wrap and sell. And then there's also wanting to get like a new deck, but also keep diving into the 2 decks that I have that means something to me on an energy and spiritual level. Yeah. So give me a moment. So sorry to detain you. It is 7:54. I know it's getting late, but give me a moment. Gotta make a dash. I'll be back, I think, like in 2 minutes. So if you want to jump off for a second, jump off, and hopefully I will be back, by 7:57, 7:56. Okay, hang in there. Thank you for holding the line. Get that. I'm just going to get a little bit of tissue. Let's see. I don't know where to put this. Move this away. Right now, I think. Okay. Hopefully, hey Deb, if you're still here, let me know if that heater is too loud. Because if it's competing, I can't tell if it's competing with what I'm saying. I'm gonna just shut it off. I don't You don't need to hear that motor at all, if it is. So that would be appreciative. And if I don't hear from you in a few minutes, I'm going to shut it off anyway because I'm not sure how it sounds. I just needed something refreshing. Okay, so got all the numbers and the pen, paper, big paper, all set. All right, so I'm just gonna end. I'm just gonna let this go. And if I get super cold, I'll turn that back on. I have the window just open. I can hardly breathe. I feel very, it's hard for me to breathe. So I might breathe really. Oh, you can hear me just fine. So I could leave the thing on. I don't need to shut off. Well, then I'll turn it back on probably. Okay, so I'm kind of chilly sitting here. So today I couldn't find that particular line that was an inspiration for me to make a theme about that I heard on Darling Daydream. So I decided to go with the energies of rebirth since for us, for me. Oh, leave the heater on. Oh, thank you. Okay, yeah, and I'm cold. There we go. So, oh gosh. So since there's so much energy bombarding the planet, and a lot of woo-woo people say this, and some are perhaps more advanced than I am, or know certain dates or astrology, things like that. But I know I often can feel when there's some movement, or sometimes I do get a picture of something guides show me. This is kind of new, and I think it's going to happen more and more. Like this morning, I saw something remotely. I call it like in my third eye. It's like I know I want to get up, or I'm not sleeping anymore, but my eyes might not be open and I'm just stirring. But it's like I've left dreamland. I'm almost ready to get up, and I'll see a scene in my head. And I wonder what the hell is that about, because it's not often anything I recognize. So I could tell you what I saw this morning, but it's just not recognizing it. And sometimes they show it to me, and then they show it to me from different angles, or it's in gray and dark gray, and maybe it's like today it stayed that way. And then there was another scene that sort of was gray and dark gray, and then a lot of it became kind of a light green color and looked like many roads, and then looked like cars and there's buses, but it still wasn't as much traffic. But the first part was interesting. I thought it was the top of some spaceships, but not spaceships like that I came from. It was just space stations or something. It's very strange. I wish for my brain it could make a picture and just go, here, that's what I saw. What's that? It doesn't happen right at this minute. So anyway, with it being an Easter or rebirth or regeneration time, spring flowers. In fact, it even started, a few days ago. It's what like pop. It's like in many plants just pop, like wisteria bushes were popping, and the daffodils were coming up. Their green stems were like almost ready to pop their color, but they are now. But they were like, it was like green. It was like almost like happened overnight. They were sticking out of all this green sticking out of the ground, and within a couple of days, even much more fuller. Or what are they called? The pink trees. The cherry blossoms, or similar to that, popping in a lot of places. And the trees are so wanting or to be refreshed. It's very interesting feeling. This new anticipation. So I wrote down the energies of rebirth, claiming your power, peace, and hold fast to optimism. And I wrote that just because of everything that's going on in the world, and fully because the TV's on. And I remember I spoke on Facebook about it. They're showing all these blips of very uncomfortable, distressing tragedy, whether it's someone dragged to death, blah, 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 and all that incident around that, or intimidated, coerced, raped, assaulted by other men, young men, other men, or other. In my heart, without going psychic on it, these things have happened. They may not have happened during the weekend, like they say. They may not have happened a week ago, like they say, and they report it. Because it's interestingly, like on one, I don't know if they showed the subway with the arm getting caught, like if there were cameras that caught that part. Track, gruesome sounding. And this other thing where they took the cameras in the boys' locker room and they, had them, what do you call it, fuzzied over, so you can't see who pressured, raped, whatever. Who can't see all that. Father came forward and talked. There's other things. So these are they're intense energies. Plus, of course, the Russia-Ukraine thing, which many of us know. There's more to that than what the mainstream says. And the reporters will say there's a mother and her child. The mother is speaking in Ukrainian, and that's what the mother is saying. Maybe yes. Maybe they just chopped it and put the part to fit the narrative. You have to know that it's a show. And for those people who follow any conspiracy or Q drops or heard of Q stuff, there were many things on what was called the Q board, and probably not every single thing, but a lot of things that told of these different times through coded messages and sometimes blatantly were actual line by line, whatever. Now, all of this is said to have been set in place with probably just a few things that they might not know based on machines they have, calculations, time travel. So we are watching a huge show, but all of this is to wake people up. And in this, the energies are intense. In this, the energies are very intense because we have our own personal growth, whatever our fears, our doubts, our money, the way we're dreaming, are we revisiting? I mean, even for me, I really feel I need to revisit my heart's true, keep, excuse me, not like keep asking, but keep that emphasis of my heart's true desire and, show me the way where I live and having these businesses or things that I want to help people with. So you have to have your dreams, and we have to hold that, that feels like, hold that vision, hold that energy, hold that frequency, because we're being so bombarded to be diverted into these other weakened states of complaint, comparison, blame, trying to put us back on the wheel of karma, which is not supposed to repeat, and because we have a choice to not have karma repeat, that we can, whether people do cord cutting, whether people just petition heaven, whether people just choose and decide, I'm off the wheel of karma and I want to move on to my many lives in this body. I want to experience the more, the next 300,000 years. And I'll petition heaven or do cord cutting or make my choice as I reach that other place of 300, 500, 1,000 years from now. Because we have so much potential, right? Our cells rejuvenate every 3 months. But what happens is we get so caught up in still what is that we don't include enough of that vision for ourselves regenerating in those from now to the next 3 months. We don't incorporate the newer languaging and mean it, new vision and mean it, the new alignment in steadying, staying, We fall back because we find enjoyment. Has to be some enjoyment in complaint, and feeling upset, not knowing what to do, bouncing ideas off of people, which as long as they are true springboard helpers, it's not so much staying in the past, it truly is sending you forward. Sometimes we find those people that are in conversation, it's too much old stuff, and you can't go to the new by talking the old a lot over and over. You still can move forward, but not as quickly when we're talking the old story. So even if we're feeding what was true old fear into the now, can't move forward. So I'm not saying, like sometimes it said, put your head in the sand and everything else will go away. But this is more like observing, which I love Dolly for saying this morning, or whenever she said it today in the UK. Observing and not absorbing. Observing, and then what I was talking about last night too on Facebook is being accountable, feeling your feelings, be vulnerable, feel whatever, feel the anger, and then asking yourself, well, I'd like to be soothed. What soothes me? I'm still accountable to this, or this thought or this behavior, but now this part of the thought is really mine. The other thought I think just came up because of the energies. So how can I soothe myself? What would help me realize that this is temporary? I feel bad or uncomfortable or a little wobbly, but I know it's temporary and I'm going to soothe myself. I'm going to know that in time I will be over here because I'm getting there. I am on a trajectory. It may seem slow, but I'm moving toward that, and I'm going to be gentle with myself because right now we inhabit usually one body, and in this body we can redefine and we can redefine our definitions, and we can redefine us. Even if other people remember you a certain way, that's how they remember you a certain way. It's not that you're really that way. You can be your new way, which there's something to be said about moving to a new town when nobody knows you, because you get to say, I am this, and start fresh from there. That might seem easiest, might seem more difficult when you're around your clan or your tribe that you may be growing out of, or your neighborhood environment, you're growing out of it, and you claim your power because there's still some of that old stuff being bombarded at you. Okay, so anyway, energies of rebirth, reclaiming your power, peace, and hold fast to optimism. And so this full moon that we're going through is in the sign of Libra. It is about balance. And think about it, the scales of justice, the scales of virtue, the scales of balance. You can think of law and balance. Now the balance is upset right now, and the balance has been fixed to fit whoever knew who, or had the money, or had the correct lies in place where no one could contest because there was coercion and murder and other despicable satanic evil spellcasting connections, whatever you want to call it. So the balance, the pink moon is helps bring the balance back, to make adjustments, to make proper adjustments, and finding our balance in relationships with others, in relationship with ourselves, like going in. And the relationship with self first is very, very important. It's your dignity, it's your respect, it's your kindness to yourself, it's you being able to look in the mirror and saying, I'm cute. Honestly, sometimes I see my face when I talk to you on Facebook and I'm thinking, oh my God, I have a gazillion wrinkles. I have a gazillion wrinkles. And then some lights I go, oh, that's more forgiving, and I look really super cute. There are a couple of people the last few days, strangers, that tell me I'm so beautiful. And honestly, I don't know that I'm so beautiful. I think I'm cute. I can accept that I'm cute. Ta-da. That I'm really down with. I can accept that. Beautiful. I don't know that I'm as beautiful as I used to be when I was younger, but I'm cute. And I'm okay with that going the next 300 years forward. And if I lose it, I don't know what's less than cute, but I think I can live with cute. Cute is attractive. Cute is fun. Cute is flexible. Cute is like not trying to be like everyone else. Cute is sweet. I don't have to be fairy princess beautiful. That will be for another time. So I can live with that. And I wish that you will look in the mirror and find your beauty and say you are beautiful, or you are loved, or you are super cute, or you're super wonderful, or you're super radiant, you're super amazing, you're super fantastic, you're super incredible, you're super duper califragilisticexpialidocious. Yes. Okay. So since this pink moon was mostly named different things by, I believe, Native Americans, and it has to do with the flower. I didn't write down the name of the flower. There's like 2 flowers, colors, but I believe the Native Americans of America, which that may be redundant. The true Americans named the flower, and thus the Farmer's Almanac says this month of, what is this? April is, this is the pink moon. Okay. So I'm gonna pull some oracle cards, and that's not bad. And then I'll read the other cards. But these oracle cards, what would go? How will cards speak to us about being at peace and reclaiming our power, and in these energies that are so intense, observing and having us not absorb? What do the cards say about this pink moon and the balance of ourselves? Woo! Holy schmoly! Too many cards fell, but a lot of cards fell. But they're all down. There's nothing face up. All these cards fell. Let me do it again. I am going to read the cards the regular way. There's a few that, I don't know, we'll see. I'll see how I'm guided, because I know there's some upside down now. So our partnerships, the balance and harmony within ourselves, helping us with the peace and optimism for life and ourselves and these new energies. So one card got left out. I'm gonna use that. Let's just see what else they want me to pick. You're gonna like the first one. At some point, I'll learn to edit so you guys won't have to sit through all of this shuffling. Almost there. Where? So I'm gonna have those. One card was upside down, so the artist does not say to read them upside down backwards, but what I feel like when the cards come upside down, not that I should read them completely inverted, it just means we may have had some doubts in that area. We may have had our disbelief or temporary stall. However, it's really something that for whatever reason was hard for us to believe or take a look at. And now, but it is, and it's very, very strong. To me, it's like super strong, because it's either temporary come out of it. You were, or I was, we all were doing this a little, but now it's like, no, really be on it. It's not so much to think, like say the card was like a really super happy, happy, happy. Now it's the opposite would be sad, sad, sad. No. Since the woman that did these oracle cards is very, very spiritual and intuitive in her own way. I hope sometime they actually call her and meet her. That'd be cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. We have these tarot cards I'm going to go into first. And near the end, I'll pick another tarot to also complement the very end. And we'll do the numbers on the cards too as well. All right. I love these cards because I love the colors in them, that I also feel very reflective of the chakras as I know them. I do think the color chakras that are changing. If our DNA is changing, we're getting more strands, then it seems fair to say that our chakra system, I think the colors are going to become more luminous, more radiant, more filled with light, and be super like neonish because we're changing. But because I've incorporated the diaphragm and thymus and a few other chakras that we have, I'm not clear of the color. I haven't seen the color. If you have, let me know. But I'm going to actually try to talk to a couple of people who may have had that insight or download or whatever and see what they're getting and share it with you. There's one person I sometimes try to reach, she doesn't pick up, but she gets some information. I love her so much. I don't think her information is always right about me, but she does have really good insights. I value that she's willing to share. And who's another person? I'm sure there's someone else, and I just was thinking of that someone else that went out of my mind. Maybe it was maybe I'll just even these people that are online, you know. Although one person just went through my mind. So what happens with some of these woo-woo people that are really nice? They may get some intuition and stuff, but then they don't know the political thing completely, and they're always off. They're either always off about Ukraine, or they're off about Hollywood, or they're off on some little psychic thing that they can't get right. So I'm just saying, you know, we are in the human body. We are divine. We're starting to step into in our mastery. We're in our way mastery classes, and more of us are like really, really becoming extremely psychic. And I think there are just days when people are off, as famous as they are, as much as they charge, as whatever they do. And then there are some that are like, they kind of must be in their ego, because I not only am not interested in their classes, like because I wouldn't get on a plane, I wouldn't travel, I wouldn't spend the money that they want. I think even if I had the money, I like them, but I don't think I would, like, they don't gravitate enough that I would make them my teachers, and yet they're nice people. But especially when they start saying certain things that don't resonate with me. To me, sometimes, you know, you wonder who people are channeling or why they're saying certain things about their energy when it doesn't seem like it is. Yeah, like often I'm really hesitant to say things about my healing and stuff because it came to me, it's new. I never wanted to sound like I'm in ego. I actually wanted to sound more and be in grounded confidence and in a radiance that is uplifting and absolute, where the energy comes through to others. I don't want to be saying, sorry, you people who have a famous channel and hundreds of thousands of people follow you, but if you say, oh, our guides told us, we've risen to 8D, 7D, 9D. Ooh, we're up here. Yeah, I think if you were, we probably wouldn't see you. And if you did, you'd actually look extremely luminous. And long ago, you probably would have just started eating only fruit and only drink water instead of lattes. But I could be wrong. So, okay, I'm just saying, I'm trying to make it funny too because these people, so many beautiful people on YouTube. There's a variety of us out there, aren't there? There's a variety of people. You can pick and choose and shut us off. But, you gotta remember that people will help you and you'll be able to toot your horn in a really gracious way. Yeah. And if it's me just sounding jealous, you can just tell me, yeah, you're jealous, you blonde, rude, older lady. Sure. Yeah, it's okay. I'm pretty flexible because there were just things I do know and I'm sticking to it. But I also love all people. I don't love nasty people. I don't like it when I'm nasty. All sorts of cuckoo. All right, let's dive in. Okay. Now, this is the part that I have not made a decision about. I'm currently going to use just the Oracle card numbers. I like when I do see the numbers above the cards, but I'm not feeling a particularly strong calling to add up. Though, now that I just looked at some numbers in the tarot, they add up to 2, which is about balance. Do I plan these things? No. Mostly I would add the cards, now the oracle. But again, I'm about to read you something, and I can't ignore, now that it's really, I'm looking in my face, World 21, 8 of water, 8 and 21 is 9, 10, 11, and that adds up, 1 and 1 is 2. So this is pretty interesting. So the first card I pull on the theme of tonight of the energies of rebirth, power, peace, and clinging to optimism, and being in these energies of, harmonious energies of change and diving into ourselves for, keeping that optimism, basically. So the world is number 21. Okay. The world means perspective. See if we can get a good picture of this. And I said number 21. The world. It's a beautiful card. This particular light is not doing it complete justice. Okay. I'm being called to shift my perspective on my life now. When I remember I am first and foremost an immortal soul experiencing life as a human being. See, you are a divine creature, a divine angel, a divine master, an immortal soul experiencing life as a human being. I have no fear. I can see clearly that I am a powerful co-creator in a divine partnership with spirit. Partnerships. This moon is about partnerships. Aligning myself with spirit, remaining unattached to outcomes. I am a conduit for miracle. I really like that. If that really resonates with you, hold to those words. Go back and write these down. I'll say them one more time anyway, because this was helpful to me. I hope this was helpful to you as it complements the world perspective, when we remember our divinity, that this pink moon is about relationships, our relationships with others, and really our partnering with ourselves, with our optimism, with our divine potential, with remembering our divine potential. I am being called to shift my perspective on my life now. When I remember I am first and foremost an immortal soul, experiencing life as a human being, I have no fear. When I remember I'm an immortal soul experiencing life, I have no fear. I can see clearly that I'm a powerful co-creator in a divine a divine partnership with spirit, all that is, ever was, great consciousness. Aligning myself with spirit, remaining unattached to outcomes, right? Observing, not absorbing, aligning myself with spirit, remaining unattached to outcomes. I am a conduit for miracles. You are a conduit of miracles. And if you have the energy that you feel flows through you to help be a conduit for healing, for miracles, they're miracles. People who've decided to receive, people who've decided they want a little bit more, next step, people who want to shift, myself who wants a shift, you who out there wants a shift. Okay, so that was the world. Now the other card that seemed to want to speak up more, there was that third one. I'm going to save it to last and see how that might fit in the mix because it wasn't as strong. It was just sort of, not just an afterthought, but sometimes the cards are peekaboo and it's like, yeah, you could read me, but just wait if you want to. So I'm waiting. So 8 of water. Okay. A journey of discovery, letting go and seeking a deeper meaning and greater authenticity beyond superficiality. Are we not in the great awakening, the great reset? So springtime, renewal, rejuvenation, rebirth, reset, reinvestigation, recalibration, reinvention, regrowth. Journey of discovering, letting go, and seeking a deeper meaning and greater authenticity beyond superficiality. All that glitters is not gold, and I know that I always deserve authentic riches, the gold that fills me with joy, abundance, and understanding. I fearlessly pause to re examine where I have been, where I am, and where I might go. Now I consciously choose the path that is right for me instead of the one that seems likely to draw me into it. Oh, this is really good. Or the one I feel I ought to walk. I am true to my heart. I've come as far as I can, and I leave by the wayside the vast vestiges of illusion, the last bits of fear and shame that will no longer hold on to what isn't right for me. The pink moon, relationships that we have in partnerships for different reasons, the partnership with ourselves, a partnership of optimism, harmony, balance, and all the other things that springtime can mean. So 8 of water, journey of discovering, letting go and seeking a deeper meaning and greater authenticity beyond superficiality. All that glitters isn't gold. And I know I always deserve authentic riches, the gold that fills me with joy, abundance, and understanding. I fearlessly pause to re-examine where I've been, where I am, where I might go. Now I consciously choose the path that is right for me instead of the one that seems likely to draw me onto it or the one I feel I ought to walk. I am true to my heart. I've come as far as I can. I leave by the wayside the last vestiges of illusion, the last bits of fear and shame that will no longer hold on to what isn't right for me. Wow. I have to say, this speaks to me and what I'm going through, what I'm aspiring to live into. Even that I'm questioning, for example, where I should live, Florida, Arizona, do I even stay local? I mean, that came up kind of last minute in my face. Do I really mean that I want to move? Do I want to accomplish more from this particular seat until my father sells his house? Or, am I willing to take on the frequency that bothers me? I don't really want to. I do want to leave. I think it's important that I do leave. But all these questions come up for observation, not to absorb and feel bad about, but to take a look at. Deborah or whoever else is listening, you have things that are like your Monday through Friday or Monday through Sunday, things to get to, things to enjoy, things to be in partnership with others, and partnerships to let go of, partnerships to contemplate, and the optimism and the balance and the harmony and the rebirth and rejuvenation, recalibration that you need to put yourself first and keep to yourself. Because you are the unit walking around to engage. You are the light walking in your two legs, or perhaps you're in a wheelchair or in crutches. You are the light for you. So, in your light for you exponentially radiates your path and all others who may be drawn to your light. Now you have to make a decision about who you let in, and by affirming and reclaiming your power, I believe less unlikely folks come in. Although, like today, I had to have a couple of sort of unlikely and some bumpy things, come in. I had also a young lady who was from a very affluent family, and she was a dancer on tour. I forget which leg now. There was a foot she had hurt. And I wish I had paid better attention to which foot, because usually our right foot, we step forward, and the left, I would have to look up what it means. So anytime we are experiencing fungus or itches or wrinkles or cancers or whatever, everything is kind of partnered with emotions and in observation to see, does any of that resonate with what possibly you brought on? The way you walk, the way you move forward, what you're itchy about in terms of letting the past hold you, or not wanting to move on because of things that have happened in the past and letting that be your future instead of the future being a clean slate and envisioning and walking forward. Or your cancers. Did you have breast cancer that you're not nurturing to yourself enough? You're nurturing to others, but you're out of your self-love for yourself. Or if you have a prostate or a women lower chakra, ovary cancer, what are you feeling about your sensuality, sexuality, your foundations of your female expression? There's probably other ways to say that, but the body doesn't lie. The body gives us information as to what's possibly going on with details, with our fears, with our emotions, and where in the body it gets stuck. Usually there's a belief that you've outgrown that you're holding on to. So it manifests as this thing to get your attention. And you don't have to drink my Kool-Aid. A lot of people are offended by saying that, but I mean, yes, it kind of sucks. Like when you want to be fully accountable and you say, oh yeah, like I did it to myself to learn something. Yeah, I did it for myself, so I didn't catch it. But if you're fully accountable, it makes you so much wiser. And in your vulnerability, actually more power is coming back to you. So these are things to just observe. Don't absorb back in a negative way, just observe. And you can make new decisions, new definitions, and new health from all these steps, these stages, and this way of looking. And it's quite frankly a very evolved way of looking, because it doesn't keep you in a victim state, and it does not keep you dependent on someone who is in authority and telling you what to do, or else, or telling you what to do because you're too stupid, or telling you what to do because you don't know anything. It's you mastering you and coming in partnership and balance and harmony with that which you were sent here to be, which is rising in mastery, rising in elevation and calibration, reinvention, renewal of this ascended being who will in time, yes, of course, you meet your ascended master self. You play in the arena of all your guides and angels, helpers, the invisible ones, people, entities you don't see necessarily, but they are there, the say more evolved ones that are rooting for us and that are partnered with you to have you be in your unfolding mastery and just claim, yeah, you're a master. I can't say I'm ascended master. I can say I'm in my mastery school and I'm mastering. I'm open in my mastering to keep learning and having the psychic and intuitive skills grow and grow so I can help myself and help others. But to say that I'm an ascended master in this body is ridiculous. Because if I was another master, you might see me, but I might be more holographic, or I might be such light that I'm, as you see me croaked, but I'm around in the invisible realm helping you from there. There are people that just, they say things and they say they're really intuitive and psychic, but I think we're all still reclaiming and, hooking up with our powers. Yeah. Ego is such an interesting thing, isn't it? Okay, so let's move on to the oracle cards. Wahoo! And two. So actually, let's see what this author says about two. I'm going to read you what I have about two, just so I read. I know this is taking longer than I thought, but thanks for hanging in there with me. Okay. Vibration of balance, male, female. Co-create with the universe. Resonates with peace, flexibility, diplomacy, adaptability. Expect harmony, balance. Wow. Allow yourself to connect to your higher self, and it points to vibration and relationships and communication, teamwork, which is all, again, I'm talking, oh my gosh, right? About the partnerships and the balance and the harmony. And oh my gosh, the moon is about balance and harmony and relationships and partnerships. Wow, I don't plan this. It just all comes together. I just so really cool. That's so really cool. So what is put that down for a second. What does this author have to say about it? The energy of collaboration or partnership with another person or spirit. I am not alone in co-creating something new with the energy of this element. Not new. So even in partnership, it's partnership with spirit, partnership with ourselves, partnership in harmony with those around us, so that who we're going to meet or hook up with in terms of buying something, selling something, meeting them in passing as we do our daily errands. This goes together. This is great. I hope that you maybe agree or you see that as well. So let's go on to the oracle. Okay, so the first one is a number 5. That's a number 4. A 9. A 1. And another 5. And right, angel number 55. We have 2 5s in there. Let me just see a minute. Yeah. So it's working to have my phone plugged into the laptop. All right. Bear with me. There's so much I want to say that I want to have backup as well. So the first card, the card that I didn't shuffle it, I was shuffling, but one card got left behind out of the pile that fell on the floor because all the cards stayed down. So I didn't use all those cards, but as I brought them back up to shuffle all the cards together, the one that stayed out, the one that wanted us to know it the most is extreme times require deep reflection. Now, again, if you're listening to mainstream media a little bit, you know what they say is extreme, and it really is there for you to pay attention to the script and the possibility of what has been happening that leads back to all that's been happening in terms of corruption, death, disgusting actions, disgusting behavior, and these leaderships and organizations, and the compliance, coercion, and murder, and mind control that's really been going on that makes humans slaves, food, robots, puppets, illness upon illness, and takes away or wants to take away our freedom, because we were born onto a planet where everything is available to everybody, and the earth does not have a price tag for one select group. The earth does not have a price tag. Africa and the people who ever want to live in Africa, the continent of Africa, are on a rich, beautiful, powerful chunk of earth. And no government or one corporation or one family owns Africa, though those in charge would want to make you believe that they do and are, and what has been written is the law. When what is the law of God universe, the law of vibration, the law of harmonious exchange, the law of your soul deciding to come and have an experience. That is the law of love. And the law of love has not truly been learned not truly practiced, not truly shared, not truly incorporated. And this is the time. This is the time that this planet, Gaia, Terra, is absolutely rising up in her own planet energetic power. And we are to, if we choose it. America is not owned by Republicans or Democrats or liberals. Your schools, our schools, whatever level, they look like people are CEOs and give them money, but those schools, the brick and mortar, no one owns your mind. No one owns your mind unless you give it to them. And no one owns your soul unless you sign it away. No one owns you. And even then, at the very end, you go back to all that is. No one owns, no president in Italy owns Italy and all the evil and people who were blackmailed or just sucked up or believed that they rose in their power, so they did all these whatever was their level to do, whatever that kept them in their millions or kept them in their pedophilia or kept them in their sex or drugs, rock and roll, whatever. We are free peoples of a planet called Earth, Terra. We are free. We were born into an experience, and the experience is teaching us. The experience doesn't own you. You experience the journey, and you make decisions about your power and where you stand in partnership with the stars. And no one other entity owns you nor the land. And we're going to come to make a new style of government, partnering with those who are emissaries, who are conduits of light, who are grid workers, light beings, who are actually seeing the guardians of the universe in different parts of the planet to keep the grids clear, to keep the ley lines of Earth harmonious and free of discord, and how we'll recognize the shadow. So it's not we need to take a thumbprint or a photograph, we'll feel the energy and know. So when we give people positions of titles to help oversee, I won't even call it government, I won't even call it governing. No one needs freaking governing and told what to do, but a sort of guardian of the energy of an area that lends power back to the energy of the area, and that people volunteer and or stationed and or sign up or are positioned in being in a job or voluntary service where they are the emissaries in holding the power and the light of that frequency of the area and lending that back. Much like, if you had a globe, a plastic or a ball, and you held it in your mind's eye, the symbol of all nations, to all lands, doing work like that. That's what people will be, the grid holders, the guardians of the galaxy, the guardians of, they still want to call it America, or Africa, or Italy, or Switzerland, or China, or Taiwan, or Japan, or Philippines, Hawaii, whatever we will call our lands. And we will be divided into nations. We'll talk of ourselves as free nations and free people. And how that's exactly going to look, I don't know, but I just know that I really feel strongly about, not a one world order, but we will have nations that merge in harmonious partnership, where the frequency is evaluated, and the frequency of care, kindness, virtue, justice, love, simplicity, bliss, joy, sweetness, abundance, optimum health, and wealth are equal. I mean, if you want to wear a dirty robe, wear your dirty robe. Chances are you won't have to. because that's just a choice. You will be clothed in what you wish. You will be housed as you freely wish, because we will have this abundance of the planet. We are born free. We got tricked, but we are really born free. Animals are born free. We don't belong in zoos. We have those safari wildlife reservations, I think, to protect, and it looks like they roam free, but nothing should be ever really caged. Caging makes beings sicker. So this is a 41, which is number 5, which is about earth, air, fire, water, spirit, adventure, change, manifestation, and extreme times require deep reflection. So here, the painting depicts kind of a native person who's scrying into the future, or if you will, into her deep self. And her totems are there of raven, jaguar, and a wolf. Faithful, dog energy, birds, the eyes of God, or the raven or crow. I want to say this. It could be a crow. I don't know I'm calling it a raven. Ravens are very smart. And then a jaguar, fast and powerful, cat-like, but in harmony with the puppy, with the dog. So she has 3, the power of 3s. And then deep in the cave, the journey within, scrying within, and all the scrying within, which radiates the journey outward. And of course, it's this beautiful amethyst crown color. And this is a time, extreme times require deep reflection. So even while we're going through our rebirth and rejuvenation, and we're ready to come out and have new beginnings, it still will, because so much is going on. Reflect inside, observe, do not absorb, observe, and ask yourself questions, and allow that rebirth, allow that connection to your optimism, allow that connection in harmony and balance and partnerships with others, with yourself, with spirit. Scrying, going within, talking and being with spirit. See if I get that better for you. And there would be more to even say about this, because I don't know if I have written down the exact meanings of each of these, but if you want to look up wolf, and if that looks like, I think it's too small to be a crow, so I would look up raven, but you could look up crow if that looks like crow to you, and then the jaguar. Okay. So then there's a number 4, expand your horizons. So during this time of optimism and rebirth, balance, and harmony, and the energies right now, expand your horizons, because you, in this new beginning time, you may be asked to start something new. Maybe it's just painting your apartment. Maybe it's a raven. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. So you could get a new wardrobe. You might have a new bank account, or a new something, new car, new property, new clothes. You might paint the apartment or a home, a room. You might take one section of something and designate that as your spiritual place. Maybe the furniture in the room you switch around a little bit, or you put something that you found or was given, and you put it in a different corner that gives you new meaning to not only go inside and do your prayer time or mantra time, but also that helps you keep open about expanding thought, your heart, your energy self. And this one does point to actual movement to a different place. So we may not know how to move to a different place, and we may not say at the moment have a resource to move to a different place, or even that we're gonna move to a different place, but because so much is being recalibrated in ourselves, and we're being asked to change, those of us who know, seeing things expanding our horizons, going to different shores, having an adventure. Yeah. So that was number 4, which is also the leap of faith, which is really leg number 4 for that. It's being a leap of faith. Get out of your comfort zone, create a sacred space. So again, like sometimes it just takes moving a couple pieces of furniture around, or saying for sure, like this thing, this top of the bureau, is going to be my sacred thing, or changing the sacred space because you've changed and you need to add something to it, or elevate it, or just sometimes we collect stuff on our altar, we forget to clean the altar. Maybe it's time to dust it off. So it is your foundation, your temple, strength of being in yourself. Yeah, mind, body, spirit. Honoring yourself, being, leap of faith. And these are a bunch of type mauve colors. The moon, oh my gosh, in this picture, there is a full moon. You see that? In the background there, this white, the full moon. And then the clouds are golden, like yellow, and hues of amethyst, a little bit of white, green mountain in the back for heart. And I think this is supposed to represent Sarah, the daughter of Jesus Christ, and Mary Magdalene, coming to Ireland. Talk about a leap of faith, right? Right. So in my cards, like there's a master image which did not come up at this moment, but so Jesus, having gone to Ireland to study with the Druids, just like he was renowned, has studied in the East with those different gurus. So he went to Ireland and studied with the pagans, with the Druids, and learned what they had to say. Can you imagine that? Living in the Middle East, being born in the Middle East, traveling east, coming back, traveling to England, to Ireland, coming back, knowing that in your mastery and in your channeling, coming back to your hometown meant your ultimate ascension. That would be your time to leave the planet. You know, by your 30s, 40s, you are leaving the planet. And I think he was probably in his 30s. And you can let me know if it's if you have different information. But it's probably in his 30s when he was crucified, but I could be wrong. I don't think he was younger. I don't think he was in his 20s. I think he did a lot of mastery classes. I think he really was having relationship deeply with spirit. And he also was being in a human experience, experiencing love and fatherhood and community. But a lot of his work was the assembling of energies, of cultures, and into one, and delivering this information to people for their upliftment and growth. He was 30, yeah, I thought I was going to say 32, like no later than 35. But yeah, he was still a very young man. Okay, so 45 and 9, sharing your wisdom and skills with the world and not holding back. And there's one thing about it that sort of speaks to if we're giving too much of our time away. Share your talents and wisdom with the world. Cosmic consciousness, it's linked to compassion and empathy. Are you giving energy out too much to bring it back to yourself? So springtime, renewal, rejuvenation, recalibration, reinvention, remembering, right? And then I have my green quartz, which isn't the one I wanted to show. It's going to go into the apophyllite, but I forget what it means. It's just that it's so beautiful. So my apophyllite, it's this one. It's just Okay. Beautiful. And I currently at night also sleep with a white, it's called white quartz. But this is my green quartz, which is about, empathy and compassion for others. And it helps you develop that for others. And it helps to bring out the grace in yourself. And I so love it when I'm holding it. I'm so loving it when I have it with my Lyft driving because I'm so super usually clearer. I mean, there are times I have things under my breath, like I'll be driving and these people, they're driving so fast. And I'm like, could you slow down, you nutty? But because the energies are so intense, they affect everyone different. So if they were a fast driver or they were just defensive driver, whatever, or maybe they have a death wish, or maybe there's too many of these and too much wonky that they're thinking about what the TV says. Whoa. So I'm just totally using the Christed light, the violet flame, the rose gold flame. Today I asked the angels, maybe even yesterday too, I said, Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, ride shotgun, because people are like, you can only hit me once in physical reality, and then we have smashed cars. And there sometimes are people with me, and we could have crunched people. That is not a best experience. It'd be an experience. We'd all be having to show stuff would come up or our mastery or whatever, but I would prefer harmony, balance. I would prefer staying optimistic. I would prefer to observe and not absorb. But I have moments when I'm like, "Mm." But there are some people that are very road aware, like when I need to get over, and there is no room, and they do start to slow themselves down because they know there's no room for me to help to get over to where I need to go. They recognize that. They have truly road awareness, and that is so amazing when that happens. And now the best thing I can say to you, if you are driving and it's crazy type weirdest traffic, when you can, move out of people's way. I know sometimes they get all the room to go all around you, but they don't. They right on your bum. Right on your bum. I mean, you could just, I think I'll just stop now. I think I'll just stop. They're like, I don't want to wreck my car. I'll just stop. Oh, well, why were you? They would be at fault. Why were they on your bumper? I don't do that because I really do like my car and I really do want to move forward. And I figure, take a breath. And if when I can, I move over. Though there's nothing in driver's ed that teaches you if someone is on your butt and you are going the speed limit of 60, 65, 70, whatever it is, and someone is on your butt because they were going faster and they were on your tail, there's nothing in driver's ed that says you're supposed to move over or that even in driver's ed you get to do that because you want to go faster than the person in front of you. I don't believe they teach you that in driver's ed even in 2022. I do not believe that regulation to pass exists. Don't you wish sometimes you were like a floating entity that could be in two places at once, drive your car and then float over to someone's window, sit in the car with them and say, I don't think that you learned that in driver's ed. I don't think you learned that in driver's ed. Where'd you learn that? And have them go, how did you get in the car? And then you float back to your car and say, well, I'll kind of show them on it. Uh-huh. I do have those moments like that. In fact, actually sometimes I look in the mirror and I go, no, you, this means you. Sorry to point at you guys, but I will go, no. I turn on the little light. It could be daylight, it could be a little tiny dark, whatever. I turn on the light, overhead light. I go, no, no, no. And that means you. That means you. Because they can see me doing it. So no, no, they back off. You find ways, because sometimes traffic is just so heavy and people want you to go so fast. And I'm already going 70 miles an hour. I have people with me. I can't always maintain 80. That is not cool. I have people with me that I drive around and can't go crazy fast. I have lives with me. Yeah. And I also want to stay alive. So I use my golden yellow Christed flame, Christed ball of light. my rose gold flame and my violet flame infused. And usually I have a lot of fun. And I really don't have like any problems. I'm just sharing my vulnerable side of sometimes what happens to me for nano moments of these people. Because, you know, it's a lot. And I really love driving, but it's a lot. Let's get back to the cards. Thanks for listening to that part. Okay. The nine, that's what I was on, right? Like not giving your energy away, taking back to bring it back into yourself, which is what I was talking about, my crystals helping me, and also my mindset to talk to myself helping me. Your goal is within reach. So the energies, here we go. The energies about optimism and harmony and balance are pointing to that our goal is within reach. That even at these extreme times, the goal is within reach for you, for the world. And your goal is coming towards you just like you're seeking it. And it's watched over by angels' help. And you just about to put your fingers on it. So we must keep that faith and certainty and alignment for the things we want and have fun with it. Have fun playing with it. Me too, for my art and things I want to do that I'm sharing. I haven't created new, but by me speaking about it, I'm recharged and getting renewed. I also want to apply this to where I'm moving to. It's scary and exciting. I want to downsize. I downsized a lot. I think I've been sharing with you, but it's like I feel like I want to get rid of just a little more. I've been wearing some things I packed away because the weather's changing and because some of the tops are pretty and I want to wear prettier tops, but they usually are tops that I've brought to the dry cleaners because they iron them a certain way and they're attractive to wear. So I'm interested in that. I'm also attracted to have some kind of skirts or something, but I feel like I've got to shave my legs, which for ladies, sometimes we get out of the program, we don't want to shave our legs. And, my legs are older ladies' legs, but hey, that's what they are. And so I'd like to have a longer flowing skirt, or not miniskirt, I don't think I really need to wear a miniskirt. I don't know if I like a miniskirt. I've given away some sort of skirts I had that I would wear darker nylons. But my style is changing, so we'll see. Yeah, so your goal is within reach, number 9. Now here's the one that was upside down. Okay, this one that's upside down. Protect your sacred body temple. Okay, and that's a number 1, which is all about the self-knowledge and diving into yourself and being straight as an arrow. Let's see. I want to read it. Strong and assertive, power within. A great start, a start for new beginnings. It's a time to start new beginnings. A great start to new beginnings. Know thyself, assertion, discovery, self-discovery, individual discovery, the power within. So I think collectively, right, we weren't in our powers. We don't like to go within. We don't really want to always look and be accountable. It's temporary. It was temporary. So we're saying all this stuff about the world, saying all this stuff about evil, we're saying all this stuff about other people. But remember, we also have had our holdups, our temporary holdups, our temporary forgetting ourselves. And it's all about, go within. It's all about your self-discovery. It's all about your sacred temple and knowing myself. It's all about you, accountable to you, emanating the light you truly say you want to assign yourself and be that you were sent from, and remembering that the darkness that we notice was sent here too. All part of a plan. Though it doesn't seem like it, and though we were taught through all world religions to blame the other side and love them anyway, well, now it's not about really blaming. You've noticed. You don't have to absorb. And you know that the darkness will be processed and transmuted. Since matter is neither created nor destroyed, and that infinite mind will use that energy in the useless, in the universe where it is needed. It will be transmuted to light again. So protect your sacred body temple. Protect your sacred body temple. Where's the thing? Let me read that one. Find and hold on to the sacred in your life. Do not let it be sullied by others or used in a profound way or profane way. This includes your own sacred vehicle, your body temple. Appreciate, protect, and care for yourself as you would a divine manifestation. Now, there's moments, right, when we yamma over someone and our words going out as curse because they seem like a dumbass. I mean, that happens sometimes with me, like driving. Oh my God, you dumbass! Wait, what can't you see? You know what? I'm truly not in their brain. I don't know. Maybe that's part of all my fear because they're driving so. And when you're merging and you're going fast to merge, and they are coming at you like you just merging and going. You can't always with the merge, depending how the merging thing is going. You can't always completely just, even though it's like a yield and you are supposed to yield to this. But these people in that lane are going like 75, 80, and you are going up. They can slow down. They could even change lanes. Like they truly can change lanes a lot of these times. So as I catch myself, I say things like, you hear me, yamma. You know what this reminds me of? I want to help you with too. That's the old way, or that's an old way that I might have and call it old way because now my thing is, because I do say this too as well, but sometimes I forget. It's like protect me as I merge, protect all that I do, protect all others as we merge and converge into traffic, protect and free the way up, and hold back anything that's dark and unlike love. Find a new way to talk about that because it truly does help. I can't tell you, oh my gosh, I am so protected. I'm so protected by my ancestors. I'm so protected by the invisible helpers. I'm so protected when I drive because I love to drive, but it could be, in a word, scary just because of the intensity of everything that's going on. But I do my best. I just have fun with it. And I usually have a lot of fun. I could feel like a little yesterday, but definitely today, like I was not going to be out a lot. I was just going to work, a little bit. And I think today maybe I made around, 57, between 53 and $60. I just didn't, I knew I didn't want to be out a lot today. And as much as I would like a higher paycheck that way, I knew I wasn't going to push it, and I knew I wanted to come on and do cards. So it was upside down for times that we don't remember to protect our body temple with our words, with our vision, with taking time for ourselves, with going within and being in these new energies, being in optimism, being in balance and partnership, not only with others in relationship, but with spirit and spirit with ourselves, being in partnership. And such great heart and throat colors, heart and visionary colors, expression. Okay. Here is the last of these cards in a row. And I call this my doctor's card because to me it was very strong. It was in a very strong reading I had last summer. Or September maybe. That was in the summertime, I think. It says believe in spontaneous healing. It's also number 5, so we'll do the 55 angel number again. But again, the adventure, the manifestation, earth, air, fire, water, spirit. So change, adventure, manifestation, appreciation of the world around you, which brings positive change, gratitude, abundance, shifts of wellness of. You may go on a journey listening to your body, right? So it's a very big time of listening to our bodies. Because when we don't, we have emotions that become illness. So here is, and this card represents someone working with their doctors, trusting in their doctors, in the purity of spirit and intention, in the midst of manifestation in a holy area. I think that was the tower or the land where the Holy Grail was. In this case, believe in spontaneous. In this case, the doctor is acting out of integrity and sharing what he knows in partnership with the receiver, this woman. So there's balance, there's male and female. Then there's the steed, which represents magic and freedom and purity and kindness and God's spirit. The wings of angels, the wings of the dove. And then there's a flower, there's a rose. There's a rose. Yeah. This particular rose is something special that the author painted on there, and it has to do with progression of healing. It's 50, so let's see what this isn't clear. I think it's, here we go. Now, didn't I just talk about catching the old program and saying something new? Okay. Stop seeing the old programs to your cells. Stop sending the old programs to your cells. They are listening. Break those negative habits and replace them with positive affirmations. Oh, let me say this again. Stop sending the old programs to your cells. They are listening. Breaking those negative habits and replacing them with positive affirmations isn't enough. You must believe them. This has now been scientifically proven. It is a truth that must be internalized to be healthy. In this day of all the energies being mixed, we know that so many people have believed in their physicians, and their physicians have misled them, often by purpose or by default, because they didn't know themselves and they felt pressured. So there's been evil going around. But the truth is, we do heal ourselves. Our body is a walking chemistry unit. These bodies are a walking chemistry factory. So we can heal ourselves. We've learned that we couldn't heal ourselves. So if we attract something where we do need the help of a podiatrist or a primary care physician, remember that they are mirrors to ourselves and our health, and that we must invite in the holy codes and holy light and angels to watch over us while we sleep and help us progress. And this card is even helping me for my next steps, because when I get off here, I'm going to be preparing the water for my feet. Then I'm soaking my feet in, and I'm going to be listening to a channeled session. So I'll probably get into bed by 10:30, falling asleep to it. And yeah, because it's 9:15, so I'm a little bit over where I wanted to be, I think. But I started more like 7:30. So I've been talking for, wow, an hour and 38 minutes. So we'll be wrapping it up soon, but thank you for sticking this out. So believe in spontaneous healing, especially for these times with all the energies going on. Believe that everything is rising up so that we can see what's really going on, and that we have the power to do so much healing on the planet in our bodies, because our cells are listening. It's why we can live forever. It's why we can live 1,000 years. It's why we are immortal. We just have to want to believe more in our own manifestations. So angel number 55. Let me go out of here for a second. What does angel number 55 mean? Angel number 55 is showing you a clear sign. Prepare for a number of new beginnings in the best life possible. When angel number 55 shows up, it's time for positive change. It doesn't matter how big or small these changes are, just as long as they're beneficial and will prove things overall. So remember when I talked about making little increment changes around the house, like new beginnings, just tweaking something a little bit, whether in furniture or color, or just in our own attitude, the way we do things. And when we say our affirmations, it's like really start to believe them that you're super cute, and that you're super beautiful, that you're super ageless, that you're super immortal, that you're super rich, that you're super healthy, that you're super duper fragile, califragilistic, espialidocious person. Yeah. So what do these numbers add? What do these numbers add up to? Boys and girls. It's right here. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 5. So 8, 18, 24, 6. Came out to a 6, which is rid yourself of negative energies. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. So all of the 5 cards, they came up to a 6. Rid yourself of negative energies. Connect to your highest self and your higher guidance. Embrace inner peace, self-love, and care. And if we have this 6, be aware to say to yourself that there'll be a new way, a solution, something will be revealed. It will lead to the solution. So, and okay, so all these cards together, meaning a 6, which also points back. Go back. You may be feeling a variety of physical and emotional swings, even observing while you are in the midst, navigating without absorbing as much or very little of the GUFF it's all about. Plug into what you desire best. You can. Optimism in creating inner harmonious space as a plus to launch off of. So when we take the number 6 and we're saying to ourselves that there's a solution, in our optimism, in our being aware that this pink moon is about wanting to be in balance, is about wanting to have balance and harmony and partnerships, and through the cards, also including partnership, the partnership with spirit, partnership that's higher you with you, and infinite consciousness. Right? Connect to your highest guides. Form, these clear visions in your mind as best you can, and start to be allowing to train yourself to permit that when you talk to yourself in daydream, when you talk to yourself to envision, when you talk to yourself with a vision, when you talk to yourself, when you do your pep talk, your self-talk, that this is not like, just to kind of keep yourself in optimism, but through this you are going to and are creating, because the energies are so intense right now, and this pink moon bringing all the balance and relationship together. And again, I'm repeating, reminding you that you're in partnership with spirit, in partnership with your high self. So these were all really cool. I'm going to pull one last card on the night with the tarot. I'm not really clear about this messenger of fire one. It's still kind of hanging around as if I should say something about it. And I know it's come up before. Let me just see if there's another. Do you want me to have another card that just points to everything we're going through? The messenger of fire is there for us? I mean, should I? Let me take the last one. So I'm going to read the messenger of fire and the 5 of water to cap what we've been through. Messenger of fire and the 5 of water. Let's see what the messenger of fire has to say. Sorry. There's fire. Air. Fire. Okay. Determination for a new adventure. Innovation. Independent creative action. Spirited and headstrong. I have an unstoppable spirit and can co-create all that I desire. Surrounded by spirit, illuminated by wisdom that rises up within me, I set forth on a path to innovate. I trust in my vision and act accordingly, I trust in my vision and act accordingly, remaining true to what I must most value and desire, which I can manifest in many forms, right? These new energies, the balance, the relationship, the partnering with spirit. I trust in my vision and act accordingly, remaining true to what I most value and desire, which I can manifest in many forms. And let's just, for the heck of it, also cap it with the 5 of water. 5 of water, again, change, adventure, manifestation. Releasing grief, allowing sadness to rise and fall, forgiveness, ebb and flow of emotion, intense emotions during this time, intense energies during this time. I feel the fullness of my emotions as they wash through me. The ebb and flow are part of life, and I am present in my feelings today. I fully forgive myself and others and let go of any emotions that were holding me back from acknowledging the truth. I deserve the freedom that comes when I release what is no longer working for me. Let go what no longer is working for you. I make amends to those I may have harmed. Our word is our wand. Harmed when emotion was coloring my perceptions, right? Saying something new instead of what the old way that we always used to say the old way over stuff when we pointed a finger. No, observe, not absorb. I surrender any resentments to the divine, partnering with spirit, the energies of balance and harmony in relationships, partnering with spirit, partnering with the great consciousness with ourselves, knowing they can be transformed into miracles. Fearless inventories lead to liberation. And isn't one of the first cards about miracles and manifestation and new things? When I was reading these, it so mirrors the last 2 lines that I surrender any resentments to the divine, knowing they can be transformed into miracles. Fearless inventories lead to liberation. And one of these cards is pointing to it. Now I forget which one that we first said. So I hope that this was helpful and supportive, that it really is taking us to just be aware during these energy times, right? Rebirth, reclaim your power, hold fast to your optimism. The full moon is about balance and harmony in relationships and partnerships, and the card revealed and reminded that also with spirit and your high self and the consciousness of the spirit, the energy that we come from. Peace and optimism of new energies that are bombarding us are very, they're intense. So just remember to go easy on yourself while you're feeling a variety of physical and emotional swings, or maybe just observing while you are in all the mist, navigating without absorbing, right? Absorbing the negative. So sometimes we do absorb, but just being aware of it so very little of it stays stuck to us, and then plug into what we really desire as best we can, taking that optimism and creating our harmonies and creating a space best we can, a space to launch ourselves from in this time of rebirth, rejuvenation, recalibration, regrowth. It's happy spring. Okay, I wish this was really helpful to you, my little coyote heart. Just loves you. If you found any value of this, please pass it on. If you didn't find any value with it, then you dropped off a long time ago. I know my card readings are very long, but I think ultimately the cards all speak to the times. It speaks to affirmation, upliftment, and supports that we might start taking a look at our journeys in a very healthy way. You are powered by the stars. You are powered by the stars. Let's activate the power within. Happy springtime.